Now we're going to work into a Turkish get-up. We're going to start with the Turkish sit-up. So Turkish get-ups are a movement that we see a lot now where people are doing them in a very regimented way. Like this is a 7-step process, and that's great. I like to use them more as kind of a flow to make sure that your brain and your body are really communicating on where your body is in space. So ultimately, what I would like is for this to feel smooth at the end rather than needing to pause in between each movement. I want your brain and your body to just be moving together as one. Keep that in mind as we're going through this. We're going to start with the Turkish sit-up. So from laying on the ground, I'm going to raise one arm and I'm going to bend the corresponding knee slightly outside of my hip. Hi, Taco. Then I'm going to keep this arm pointing straight up in the air as I come up to sitting. You can see I used my elbow as assistance to get up, and because my legs are short, my legs kick up. Neither of those are important. Definitely use your elbow as you need to. You may or may not hold a weight for this as long as your arm is staying straight up and down rather than coming down and then coming back up. We're good. You'll also press through the heel of the foot that's flat on the ground a little bit. Once we've moved through the Turkish sit-up, we will do the Turkish sit-up to the bridge. So you'll come up in your Turkish sit-up, and then you can see this leg is kind of at an angle. I'm going to set my other hand slightly behind me and slightly outside of my hip, and I'm going to squeeze my glutes and press my tailbone straight up, kind of creating a frame between the hand and the foot that are on the ground. So I come up through the sit-up, I plant my hand and my foot, and I press my hips straight up. I have a little bit of an angle on my shoulders, but my hips are largely pressing straight up. So from here, I can then kick my leg under and go into a Turkish get-up variation. So I'll come up. I'm going to press up into the bridge. I will kick this knee under. So now it's supporting me. And I'll come up into kind of this wide lunge position. This is phase one. I will hinge my hips over, set my hand down pretty much where it was when I came up, press through that hand and that knee, kick the foot under, and then come back down. Key thing to think about here is that this leg and this arm are making a frame. You're going to reach your hips up and then kick that leg under into your lunge. From here, the only thing left to do, and it's optional, you may or may not do it, is to come to standing, and then we'll go back down, make the frame, kick through. So at speed, it can look like this when we're doing it as kind of a flow movement. And those are our Turkish get-ups. Now it's your turn. You go try.